All right. So we have about 2 minutes before we'll be on live, but people can join us during those 2 minutes, and I usually get the first chatter identified during that preview pane. So we'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
Everything's looking good so far. I'm getting all green on my OBS, so that's good news.
Excellent.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we are live, and we have. So, how should I pronounce your name again?
Enema is fine.
Enema. Enema. There you go. So, Das Enema, or Enema on Twitch. And he's a friend of one of our friends, one of our normal streamers that we know and love, Aesop Lena. So, Enema is going to get a one-on-one lesson today. Hey, Ratchet, you are our first streamer. Our first chatter. As always, well, not always, but I think you've won it more times than anyone else so far. Ratchet, you're just coming in first every time it seems like it's possible for someone to come in first. Good job. I'm going to update that, and while I update that, I'm going to ask our student, Enema, to tell us how he got started in chess, how long has he been playing chess, what he wants to get out of chess, why he likes chess, things like that. I'll ask him some other questions also. But let's start with those.
Well, I started playing chess when I was pretty little, but I was very bad, so I didn't really enjoy it too much. But then I started playing again a few years ago in high school, and I was a little bit better, I was a little bit more patient, so I could play a little bit better, and now I just love it because first of all, there's very few one-on-one style games like this to play recreationally that I've found. It's pretty much this or Super Smash Brothers for me, so yeah, I enjoy the competition for sure, but also it's nice to just sit down and think about one state of the game for a while.
Good. Yeah, I think chess is a great equal game. You can play against girls, boys, adults, children. Doesn't matter. Physical handicaps don't matter. And as we're seeing with playing online, you can end up playing people all over the world, which is really neat.
Yeah, chess.com makes it really great too to be able to just be a click away from a game.
I like it that you're advertising chess.com on a guy that plays mostly Lee chess. It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, online chess platforms in general.
It's okay. I like chess.com also. I actually play on chess.com occasionally. I spent most of my time on Lee Chess for learning purposes and teaching purposes, so I use it much more. Hey, and Ratchet agrees. Ratchet says Lee Chess is superior, so we'll go with Ratchet. He's always right. So we just defer. Yeah, we'll just defer to Ratchet. All right. And so how do you know ASAP? Tell us a little bit about you and Lena.
We're great friends. I met her a few years ago in college, and we just kind of we hang out a lot. We're just good friends.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We like friends.
And recently we've been playing chess, so I kind of got her into it a little bit, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, now she's her own player, so you know.
Yes. She was a great student. She listened. She soaked it in. She really tried hard to apply what we covered. So we'll see if you. I know you might be a better player than her. We're going to see if you're a better student than her.
Well, her rate of improvement was so fast. I was so impressed that I don't know if I'll measure up, but.
Understand. All right. All right. Where are we at? So let's get started talking about. I do have. Thanks, Lena. Lena says you helped him teach her chess, as you said. She gave you credit.
That's great.
She's listening in. She's listening in both ways. She's actually on the stream. So welcome, Lena. I gotta give her a shout out too. There are so many to give shout outs to. It's just crowded. But so one of the things I talk about is, and I don't know, can you see the stream or are you only on Zoom?
I'm not on the stream right now. Should I get on the stream?
No, you don't have to. I just want to talk about the principles that I cover. But we're going to go over those principles through your games anyway. So they'll come out, right? So we talk about, do you know the rules? Do you know the piece values? Do you know basic checkmate? So let me ask you about the rules first of all, because I watched one of your games and you failed to take advantage of one thing that I think you should know, but I don't know if you do. Do you know what en passant is?
I do know en passant.
Okay, and you know when you can do it and when you can't?
Sure.
Okay.
I think so. I think I know.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you know. I'm going to trust that you're confident that you know. So we'll find out. We'll go over it. But how about what values do you give the pieces? Do you have any idea about values for the pieces?
Sure. Pawn is 1. Minor pieces are 3. That being the knight and the bishop, and then a rook is valued at 5. Queen is 9, and then of course you can't put a value on the king.
That's right. You're awesome. Awesome job. Wow, that was fast and accurate. I like it. So you say the queen is 9. I'm always curious with beginners that tell me the queen is 9. Not that you're wrong, but tell me, please, would you rather have 2 rooks or would you rather have a queen?
I guess it depends on the board, right?
Yeah, but in general.
In general, I really don't know. I mean, 2 rooks would be 10, which is greater than 9. So
so technically, based on the ratings you just gave me, values you just gave me, you should trade your queen for 2 rooks, right? And keep the 2 rooks against the queen. You would be winning. Right. But would you do that?
Well, personally, I would be more comfortable with a queen than 2 rooks.
Fair enough.
But that might just be more my skills.
Right.
Limiting me there, but I don't
know. Exactly. Actually, that's exactly the way I think happens, and that's why I think for beginners, I try to tell them, let's just make the queen worth 10 because you're not going to trade it for 2 rooks anyway.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I agree. It depends on your level if you feel comfortable with the 2 rooks versus a queen. All right. You're getting some kudos from Where Da Purpat. Do you know Where Da Purpat?
Yeah, I know Where to perfect.
Oh, okay. That's
Alina and my mutual friend.
Okay, yeah, he ragged you at first, but now he's giving you some kudos. Oh, all right. Not exactly chess kudos. Chess kudos. Another one that we talk about is how to respond to an attack, but we'll get there in a second. Do you know how to checkmate with a queen and a king against a king?
Do I know how to checkmate with a queen and a king? I guess general strategy or tactic would be to push my king closer to his king, right? And try and
let's do a new check. I think we're going to let me throw a chapter up here for you. I'm going to create a board. Let me clear this board and we're going to do a quick test just to see your level of understanding, okay?
Okay.
I think that'll be the easiest way to get this started. All right, I just put into your study with me chapter 7. You'll see it in there. Do you see chapter
I
7?
see, yeah, I'm here.
All
I'm
right.
here.
So go ahead and you be white and you checkmate me. I'll be black.
Okay. So in a real game, I guess the first thing I would do would be something like this.
Okay. Hey, Max. How are you? Hey, King. Awesome. All right. Yep, you do know. Good. Good. Easy breezy. Let's do another one, though. And let me bring up I'll give you another simple one. But you did that one real well. And I'm just trying to see how well you know your stuff. All right. One more. Chapter 8. Go ahead. You could be white again. Hey, muchas gracias, Ratchet. Ratchet wished us all a happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th, Ratchet.
Yeah, he's in England. He doesn't celebrate it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's more of a day of tragedy for them.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. They might be glad to be rid of us Yanks, though.
That's a good point.
No, Chescudo, we won't quite be doing that. All right, so there's that works, but you can do this now because of the opposition.
Okay.
So do you know what opposition is?
So I watched a video on that, but I couldn't give you a concise definition.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You can finish from here, though.
Okay.
Yeah, Ratchet, we just did 2 knights versus a pawn the other day, and no, we're not doing that for our student.
I can't do that. Yeah, I guess I don't know what to do.
Okay, so again, simpler is to run away.
Okay.
Make the king chase, but your way should. I mean, it should work, right? You shouldn't have a problem. You have a overwhelming advantage.
I guess.
Oh, no worries, Chescudo. I figured that. I thought you were being humorous. I thought you were funny.
I think eventually I'm gonna have to bring this out over here anyway, right? Because if I say I would do
You
something
could
like
try
this,
You could try to get the black king along this side, but so the concept
I
for
didn't see that.
so the concept for both for the queen and the king checkmates is to get the king onto an edge of the board. It doesn't matter which edge, and then it's a lot easier to checkmate. So again, you can just run away. If I were to go here, you just that again with
right, okay.
you forced me back, and then once you force me
So
back,
is that also the opposition? Is that
yes, and we're going to talk about the opposition in 2 seconds. I'm going to see how well you know that. All right, so go ahead and finish off this mate.
okay? I'll do this.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that, but let's see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but go ahead, show me. Show me. You know, we'll do like that in the movie with Tom Cruise. Or is it Tom Cruise? Show me the money?
Show me the money. That's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right. Color of Money or something, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what you're doing here. Okay, that's a stalemate.
I'm honestly not even. Yeah, I think I just lost the game, right?
Yeah, you didn't lose it, you drew it. Right, stalemate. So again, the idea is once you have this taken away and you have me on the edge, you want to move your king opposite, and you want, hey chess wizard, you want the king to be opposites, but you want black to create that opposition because then you could say checkmate. So try again from here. Very good. Yay! So it is different, right, than you were thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
much different. I was not that way.
Okay, go for it again. Start over and let's try it again. We're going to delete everything you did.
Okay.
Go ahead. You want to limit the king. My job is to stay in the middle. By the way, if I want to live as long as I can, my job is to stay in the middle.
Okay.
Right, so I can't go forward, and I can't stay here. So I'm down to these. I have to go backwards somewhere. Think, think, think. Who said think, think, think? Famous character.
Jimmy Neutron.
Really? I've seen the Jimmy Neutron movie, but I didn't know he said think, think, think. Because I was thinking...
He does the, before he has a brain blast.
Really? Because you know who said it before Jimmy Neutron?
Who is that?
Winnie the Pooh. Think, think, think. Especially when he's trying to figure out how to get the honey. Yes, Winnie the Pooh. Let's see. How do we want to mess with you? Let's go this way and see what you do. Oh, is it? Is this rapid rating pretty good? Oh.
Are my friends talking trash?
Yeah. Everybody is. King says your rapid rating is pretty good. Let's go here. So you notice we did a little circle here?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But you are getting close to the edge, but I think it's very slow.
Yeah. Kind of a roundabout way.
I think I'm doing making the same mistake.
No, actually, that works out quite well for you. What does SMH mean? I've seen that abbreviated. Oh, shaking my head. Gotcha. I never knew what it meant. I've seen it used so much.
Are people shaking their heads at it?
No. Well, a little bit, yeah. Oh, you have a better move. Try again.
Better move?
Yeah, try again.
Oh, this one.
Yep. So, in general, one of the things we talk about, what do you do every move? Every move. I want you to think of 3 things, well, 5 things. 5 things? I'll remember the number in a minute. But it's off of the principle list that every move you should always think about 3 things. I said a number again. It's not 3 things. It's 5 things. So one is, how did the position change? Right? How did the board change? How did the position that I'm looking at change? The next thing is, do I have any checks? The next thing is, do I have any captures? The next thing is, do I have any attacks? And the last thing is, do I or does my opponent have any threats? But mostly, does my opponent have any threats? Okay? So when we look...
Triple C cat. Change, check, capture, attack, threat.
I like that. I hadn't thought of change as a way of saying it. So yeah, change works. But checks, captures, attacks, which that's not a C, but maybe you could think of a way to make it sound. It sounds like attack, but attack and then threats. So in this situation, when we started the game, you did a check immediately, right? But you could have limited me to these rows back here.
I see.
So that's one option. But the check kind of works too, because the check says, well, do you want to go this way or that way? And either way,
that's what I was thinking,
but if I go towards you, right, then you have to start taking away squares and I can go left or right, and it's a little harder for you to get this one in to push me. I'm going to still have to go this way eventually. So the idea, and then at the end of this one, especially, I want you to think, okay, so here, how did the board change? I moved here, which means what? I can't go to any of these squares. My only free squares are here, so that was how the board changed. The next question is, do I have any checks? You only have one check. And you should check your check to see if it's good. If your check is good, boom, you can do it, in which this case, it's me. All right, so I do feel like you could use some more work on this. What I'm going to ask you to do is to click on Learn up at the top in Lichess.
Okay.
And then go to Chess Basics.
Okay.
And we're not going to worry about the first 6, the rook all the way through the pawn. I'm going to assume you know how the pieces move. Right?
Sure.
All right. The mate and ones are worth it for you to do. They're kind of fun. But actually, these are okay. Check and 2. I'm looking for what I'm looking for, and I don't see it. Okay. So let's go back. You could do those. I would definitely do those. Even though you don't play on Lichess, you could come here and do their puzzles all day long. It's free. Everything is free. Doesn't cost you anything. You can use those. Click on the second tab where it says Puzzles.
Okay.
And you'll see it'll come up with a puzzle. Right? And it has your puzzle rating. Okay. Below your puzzle rating, you see the word Puzzle Themes. Let me go full screen so everybody can see. And click on Puzzle Themes.
Okay.
And then you will see that you have things like Rook Endgame, Middle Game, Opening, Pawn Endgame, motifs of discovered attacks, forks, hanging pieces, pins. These are really going to help you get better on specific things.
Okay.
All right, so I might give you some homework today to go in and do some puzzles with a specific theme.
Okay.
All right. Alrighty, no worries there. And then let me just
turn off this TV. Back.
All right, that was quick. And then you have piece checkmates. If you go to learn practice, and you start at the top with checkmates. Your homework assignment already is going to be, I want you to do the first 4. Piece checkmates 1, checkmate patterns 1, checkmate patterns 2, checkmate patterns 3.
Okay.
That's all I want. Don't worry about what's below it. Okay, so those top 4, left to right, top 4, I want you to make them all green. Right now they're blue, right? Because you haven't done any yet. So I want you to turn all of those green.
Got it.
All right, that's your first homework assignment. All right, let's go back and let's get back to about your game. So we talked about, do you know what opposition is? So I'm back in your study.
How do I get back to the study?
You click on Learn, Study, and then you choose Studies I Contribute to.
Okay, nice.
All right. Yeah, I'm wondering who's been following the longest. I would think Chess Wizard should be like my longest follower because he talked me into streaming. All right, so the opposition is when you move your king into a position that you create an odd number of squares between the kings.
Okay.
Clear as mud?
I guess so. So in this, are you looking at the 2 kings and the rook right now?
Uh-huh. On chapter.
There are 2 squares between our king. That's an even number. There's no opposition.
Where do you see 2? Right click. Oh, okay, so good. So you could draw circles. You could draw arrows. So when we say between the king, we mean in a direct line. So there is no direct line. So there is no opposition yet.
Okay.
I can move here and I create what we call the diagonal opposition.
Okay.
I could also go here and create an indirect opposition. And the reason it's indirect is because it's not going forward or backward. But as far as you're concerned with mating with the rook, this opposition is the same. It doesn't matter. Direct opposition is the same. So
if your king was, say, here and I was here, and there's 3 squares, is that opposition?
Yes. And the player, it's the player that is to move has the opposition. Am I saying that right? No. The player that created the situation took the opposition. So
Okay.
white moving here created opposition. And the way that works is almost wherever he goes, you can maintain the opposition. And the opposition is used to graduate a pawn, promote a pawn. So let me make for you one more. We will open up a new one. Let me create a new one for you. And we'll do our last lesson on basics, and then we'll check out some of your games. Basics is so important that it's worth it. But, all right, are you with me on Chapter 9?
Yes.
What's the result of this game if everybody plays well?
Stalemate?
No.
No.
Good guess, though. If everyone is playing well...
Just a total guess.
Oh, okay.
I guess, well, then I guess if that's wrong, then I would say white wins.
So you have a draw or a win. Rarely would you say a stalemate is the best, the most logical, but it could be. Stalemate would be a type of draw, right?
Right.
Okay, stalemate is a draw.
Oh, I see, right, because you can, there's other types of draws, right? Like, if there's just kings left, I see. I see.
Okay. So here we go. White should win this game.
Okay.
Go for it. You're white.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try to count odd number of squares. Look at that. You see that? Odd number of squares. I just took the opposition. And now this, before you go any further, this is called direct opposition. You could also call immediate opposition because there's only one square. That's like the quintessential opposition. And in fact, anytime you get odd number of any other form, it's to graduate to this level of opposition. All right, so I have the opposition. Your turn. Okay, now, when I'm trying to stop a pawn, the process is to stay in front of the pawn or take the opposition. So you just removed me. I can't take the opposition. But I'm not going to back up because I wouldn't be in front of the pawn. I could move here, but why? Why not stay directly in front of the pawn? So I'm going to stay directly in front of the pawn or take the opposition. Now, can I stay directly in front of the pawn? No. Can I take the opposition? You just took the opposition, right? There's one square between us. So I have a choice of these three squares, right? I can't move here, and I can't move here, I can't move here, and I can't move here. So I only have three choices. Which one do you think I should make?
I'm not sure.
Well, remember what I said. I need to stay in front of the pawn. So I love teaching principles, especially at the beginner level, because there are rules, right? Well, you might call them more like guidelines. But there's rules, and you can stay in the rules, and all you have to do is learn the rule, and you can do well. So the rule here is you stay in front of the pawn unless you're taking the direct opposition. Or taking the opposition. But it's your move. So, I can stay in front of the pawn by backing up, but no, I'm supposed to take the opposition. Because I don't want your king in front of the pawn. That would be bad for me. So I'll stay in front of the pawn. Uh-oh, I'll stay in front of the pawn. And I'm going to take the direct opposition. I'm going to stay in front of the pawn. I'm going to stay in front of the pawn. And I'm going to take the direct opposition.
That's stalemate, right?
Very good. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Hey, you just run around the corner. Let's see. So I cannot take the direct opposition, so I'm going to stay in front of the pawn. Again, just trying to follow my rules. Take the direct opposition. So this is a draw now.
Okay.
All right. So there's a magic position where you win no matter whose move it is. Okay, I'm going to show you the magic position. In a second, we'll cheat. Okay, we're just going to make this magic position. So this, take a look at that position. The king has to be on the 6th rank. The pawn has to be somewhere behind it. It can be right behind it as it is, but it has to be behind it. And the black king is here. Or it doesn't really matter where the black king is, because if the black king moves, this is what I need to win the game. See it? Because it doesn't matter. So like if it's black to move, white goes here and he ushers the pawn down, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And if it's white to move, so let's make it white to move. Okay, now it's white to move. White still wins. White goes here, black goes here, and we go here. So instead we go here, black has to take the opposition. We go here, right? If black goes here, we just push and you can't come back. Okay, so black goes here. Now watch this. We are going here without check.
Right, okay, we didn't put the king there, right? Okay, so he has that square free.
And then we win.
Right.
All right, so this right here, right here is the magic position. Doesn't matter who's to move, white wins.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. I don't usually, that was new. I tried that new. Sorry, I got to update my one-on-one lesson. Yeah, I normally do, thank you, King. I usually do the one-on-one lesson. I don't put in who I'm playing. But yeah, we could do that today. And I tried it because I did someone that was a streamer. All right, there you go. Thanks, King. Thank you very much. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to it. So, you were asking, or did you have a question?
I did, but I don't really know how to phrase it. So, I think I understand.
So this is the magic position because no matter whose move it is, white gets to queen the pawn. Past pawns want to queen. We want them to queen. Past pawns want to become something better than they were. So we want to give that pawn a chance to become a queen or rook or whatever and win the game. Rook or queen in this part to force a mate. Right? And this is the magic position. So starting from here, can you get to the magic position? So first another quiz question for you. You said you know the values of the pieces, right? So a bishop is worth how many pawns?
3.
All right, good. If we're going into an endgame, do you want to have 3 pawns or do you want to have the bishop? That's the only choice. You get one side is going to have a bishop and one side is going to have 3 pawns. Which one do you want?
3 pawns.
Okay, all right. How about 2 pawns versus a bishop?
2 pawns.
Okay, how about 1 pawn versus a bishop?
I guess I take the pawn.
Why?
Because of the potential.
Yes. The side with even chess, one pawn has a chance to win. The side with a bishop or a knight, by the way, has no chance to win.
I see.
They're playing for a draw.
I see.
Because you can't win with just a knight and a king against a king. There is no mate. There's no mate with a bishop and a king against a king.
I didn't know that, actually. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's why we're doing this, to teach you. So, yeah. If you knew everything I was telling you, this would be a very boring lesson for you.
Right.
Okay, King. King says he'll take the bishop over the pawn. He's joking. So, yes, you need to have the pawn because it gives you the potential to win the game. We always want a potential to win the game. So if you have, I actually had a really good game with Chess Wizard. We watched the game that Chess Wizard played. We analyzed it. He had an opportunity to trade his pieces so that he had like 8 pawns versus 6 pawns, and his opponent had a knight. If he traded down everything, he'd have 8 pawns, his opponent would have 6 pawns, but his opponent would have a knight. He quickly traded off everything. And now he's down to 8 pawns versus 6 pawns. It might have been 6 versus 4 or whatever, but he's up 2 pawns. He then proceeded to accurately be able to trade down to the 2 pawn versus a knight endgame, which gave him the only chance to win the game. Because he had troubles earlier. I think he lost a piece for a pawn or 2 pawns, and he was like, that's okay, I'm going to trade everything off, and it'll be a knight against 2 pawns, and he knows he can't lose. Right? And he did. It was really good. And then I think he ended up winning that game. He was actually able to queen one of the pawns. He shouldn't have been able to maybe in that situation, but it doesn't matter. The point is, he gave himself the only chance to win. All right. You ready to try one more time? See if you can queen that pawn? Go for it. Let's see. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm going to take the opposition. You were so close.
I messed it up.
Thank you for watching your language. Yes, you did. So let's go back to here. Okay, your move now. Much better. Okay, that works because we know that's the magic position. But you could have just went here.
That magic position.
Yep, but you could have went here.
Okay.
But that's okay. Magic position should win for you. Let's see. Very good. So what was the key?
What was the key?
The key was moving your king, not the pawn. And when I took the opposition, now you kill a move, right? You basically pass. You say, I don't want to move my king. I want you to move your king because I want the opposite. You have the opposition because you formed this situation. So now I want the opposition. So I'm going to delay a move and say, your turn. And that way when I move, you could take the opposition, right? But we don't need to just take the opposition in this point because it gained you the opposition. It was as if you made the odd number. So you can flank. The idea is to be able to flank your opponent. So you were able to flank, And you can move the pawn, but you don't even have to move the pawn yet. You could have went here, let's say. Right? Or you could have even went here. So if I go there, and you go here, it takes away this square, and I still have no place good to go. And you can press on. And again, you get to the magic position pretty easily. All right, but the key is you save the pawn moves to win the opposition. But a lot of beginners, when I do this puzzle with them, the first thing they do is this. They go, I gotta push the passed pawn. But it's not protected, and you're gonna, this loses, right? I mean, it draws. Because now you can't get your king in front before I can get in front. No matter what you do,
Right.
I'm gonna get in front of your pawn, which means you can't ever get your king in front of your pawn anymore. Okay, the king has to lead. Make sense?
Sure.
Okay, feel like you learned something already?
Yes.
Good. We spent about 40 minutes, and I think you've learned something. That's always good. Let's look at a game. I turned off where I don't look at the moves, so feel free to do the same thing. I've been toying around showing the evaluation gauge for fun, but I'm going to turn it off because we don't want to distract you on this one. Okay, I'm not going to put it on this game. All right, so this is a game, and I believe this was like your daily game, so you got a lot of time to move. Okay. How much time do they give you to move?
It's 24 hours.
Oh, okay. Per move?
Per move, yeah.
Sweet. All right. So far, so good. You developed a piece. Let me bounce before I do this. I want to go back. So we talked about rules, and you know the rules, right? Piece values, you knew the piece values. Basic checkmates, we needed to work on a little bit. My other concept that comes next is free candy. It's like the number one thing. It's like if Lena never gave away free candy, she would be in every game, right? You should at least be 1,000 rated if you don't give away candy on chess.com. At least 1,000, I would think. And I know people, their goal is to get to 1,000 on chess.com. And if they just stopped giving away free candy, they gave away no free candy, and they took the free candy when their opponents offer it, I posit that they would be over 1,000. So how do you feel about taking free candy when it's offered, noticing it, taking it, and not giving any away?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah. You feel good? Do you feel like that's a strength of yours?
It's something that I would like to improve. I definitely make a lot of careless mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, Lena's told me about the free candy thing.
Oh, okay. All right. So now there's other concepts in the first 10, right? And when I say first 10, they're not the 10 most important, but they are, in my opinion, if you get these 10 down pat, you will jump, right, faster. And so I think your rating will jump when you stop giving away free candy. Now there's also develop. The first 3 and most important goals in the opening, and getting your king to safety. So let's see how you do with free candy, development, and king safety. So far, I like it. So far, I like it. You developed a piece. By the way, let's do a quick little jump and say your opponent's move here. Is it good or bad, in your opinion?
I think it's good.
Why?
But because it protects his pawn, however, it doesn't develop, right?
Doesn't develop, and was that pawn already protected?
Right, it was.
Is the pawn under attack?
No.
All right, so there might be openings that and I'll get my chatters in my stream will tell me, but that's that opening, and that's the way you're supposed to play that opening. I don't care. We're talking about at the beginner level. Let's understand what's good and bad. Even in an opening that has a lot of theory, I don't care. So let's talk about it. So yes, this pawn move protects a pawn that's already protected and not attacked. And like you said, it doesn't develop a piece because pawns are not pieces. And what else do you notice? Remember, how did the position change? How did the position change between here and here?
One second, somebody's at my door.
Okay. Funny thing about doors.
It was just
Wait. What, pizza? You're making me hungry. So Robin...
Okay, so how did the position change?
Yes. Show me how the position changed. Hey, guys, you're my witnesses. Robin something, J70 something, one of our latest followers, was on yesterday and said, I promised him I'd wear Batman today. So I need I want you guys to check it out. Make sure I got proof. Okay, good. All right. So go ahead. How did the position change?
The position changed. This has an extra defender now. This square is under attack. Is defended.
Very good.
And this square is occupied.
Keep going.
And this is free.
Yes, very good.
And
very good.
Free.
Now, whoa! Wasn't this always free? The last move?
Oh, right. Yes.
Okay,
right.
so this was always there, and these two squares were attacked.
Right.
Now, these two squares are not attacked by the pawn, but they have other. These attackers are still attacking, but that doesn't matter. What we said was, how does it change? So this pawn is no longer attacking there, but like you said, it's attacking here. Right? So that is correct. I love it. Yes, the queen is free to go and the bishop is free to go, but also look.
It's blocked, right?
On this move, the bishop was free to go. Now the bishop is no longer free. The bishop only can get here. Right. So the question is, do I want the bishop out here, or do I want the bishop back here or over here? So that's just something to consider, that, oh, that bishop isn't out here. It can't pin my knight. It can't come here. That bishop is stuck back here.
Right.
And, like you said, this is now open, so you need to pay attention and make sure you don't miss anything. All right, so you did well. You moved the center pawn. Center pawns want to be up here, by the way. If you can ever get it, if your opponent lets you have both pawns on your fourth rank, grab it. Yeah, Robin, I told you. I keep my promises. All right, so good job. So he develops a bishop. How did the board change? He's now attacking here, and the queen has one less square. Otherwise, he was already attacking this diagonal, right? So the board changed this way. Snoopy a dog at least?
He's a dog, yeah.
All right, good name for a dog.
He's my little brother. He loves to bark.
So the bishop gets to attack here, and we also see we have one less piece to get out of the way for castling.
Right.
All right, so there's a lot to think about when you say, how did the position change? So you did the same thing. You didn't develop your bishop first. And so now your bishop only has this square.
Right.
We could talk about, do you know what a good bishop and a bad bishop are? Just out of curiosity.
So in this case, right, I would say, because, I mean, just to guess, because these pawns are aligned here, I would call my white bishop the good bishop, because look, all these diagonals are open, right? And my black bishop would be the bad bishop, right? That's just a guess.
It's a very good guess. It is the correct guess. Great answer. Ding, 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 ding. I gotta give you, on my stream, I'm gonna have to give you some applause here. All right, good job. So, yes, this is your bad bishop because your pawns are on light squares, and this is his bad bishop. And one of the ways to deal with a bad bishop is to get it outside of the pawn chain.
I gotta be completely honest with you. My guess was the opposite of what you just said. So I think I guessed wrong.
You described it correctly.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking that this would be my good bishop because...
Circle him. Which one? Circle him. Oh, this one?
Yeah,
no, that's your bad bishop. Yeah, that's
okay,
gonna...
Yeah, so I guess wrong. I gotta make...
But you said it right. You even said that white's bishop, this is what or were you talking about black's bishop?
I was talking about my bishop.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you got it backwards. But that's okay. So the idea is that this bishop has less scope because these pawns are blocking in your own bishop. So he's quote-unquote bad. But that's all. So normally you
So
want to...
it's the features of my castle, not his castle. Like,
Correct.
Not literal castle, but his fortress.
Position. Yeah, his position.
His position. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So he's developing, you're developing. Everything is fine so far. Good move or bad? And why?
I mean, no development.
Good.
I think the idea is that he could develop his knight with this pawn in front to be able to push it.
Yep.
But I don't know if I would say it's bad. I don't know. Besides for lack of development, I don't know if I'd call it bad.
So lack of
he can't castle. He can't castle.
Yes.
On this side anymore.
Right. He can, but when he does, this will be weak.
Right.
He can castle to the king side, but this is a weakness for the king side.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not. Yes, I can, king. For a beginner, leave me alone. So, so that's the bad part, is that it's opening up the king side, right? And it's not developing a piece. But doesn't mean that you could take advantage of it right away. But he does have weaknesses, right?
Right.
Okay. And it's for things for you to think about and notice. Okay, so you developed another piece. So now you have 3 pieces developed, and your opponent only has 2. You are winning. You are winning the race on development. So he attacks your bishop with a pawn. So you should move it, right? And you did. No problem. He moves his knight. You move a pawn. Why? Because you've got to find a way to develop this bishop, right?
Right.
All right, good. You're down to 1 piece to develop. You've developed your bishop. Excellent. Now, he's moved the knight twice in the opening. In general, a bad choice. In general, a bad choice. He hasn't developed the bishop, hasn't developed the queen, and he moved the knight twice. So in general, we'd say you shouldn't do that. I don't... yeah. What was that?
That was a misclick.
Fair enough. What were you trying to do? Castle?
I was trying to move my I was trying to move my queen here so I could castle.
Oh, that way. There you go.
Yeah.
So that would have been
So that way I could.
Yeah, that would have been a viable move. I think that would have been a playable move. You'd have to worry about things like this. Because now he has 2 pieces attacking, you only have 1 protecting. So then you'd have to probably do things like take away one of the attackers.
Right.
Make sense?
It does make sense. I did consider that. I just, it was a complete misclick.
Oh yeah, I didn't think this was a natural move. You know, that didn't seem like a normal move for anyone.
I was on the toilet, so you know how that is.
That's more information than I needed. All right, let's go on to the next game. Let's check this game and see how you do with free candy and development. So you took your, your opponent plays, well, I forget this opening, but that's fine. And you develop your knight while chasing the queen. Right? We call it Chase the Queen. It's a game you could play, so I like it. So again, what's good and bad about this move?
So here I'm thinking, so I free the bishop, and then I'm thinking if I develop my knight and he pushes, I have a square to go to, right?
That's interesting. If you developed your knight and he pushes, can't you just take it?
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, now if he develops his knight first, then you develop your knight, now you can't just take it because he has the knight on it. So the major question you have to decide before you push this pawn is why, right? You're doing it to maybe stop this pawn from pushing, but you have to decide where you want this bishop. Because as soon as you push this pawn, you've decided for yourself this bishop has less scope. So you got to decide where this bishop is going to go. And if you're going to fianchetto it, then yeah, go ahead with this move. But if you wanted that bishop someplace else, then you need to rethink when you're going to push that pawn. That's all. So I just want you to always be cognizant when you push a pawn to only 1 square ahead, the center pawns, you're blocking a bishop. And don't do it until you know where you want that bishop to go. Okay? So far, so good. You're developing, he's developing, and he gets to push, and you take. No biggie. You trade again, no biggie. And now, looking at it, you say, okay, you have a really nice move you made. You set up, do you know what this is called?
The discovery?
Yes, very good. you are threatening to discover an attack on the queen. And the queen will be pinned. This is a pin to the king. You know what a pin is, right? Anytime you attack something of lesser value, and if they move it, they lose something of greater value.
Sure.
All right. So if you move this bishop, if you move, if the bishop were not to be here, you'd be attacking the queen, and the thing of greater value would be the king. Right?
Right.
All right. Let me just do a quick shout out. And King just checked something, and he's right about something. So that's good. Good job, King. Be right. What a game changer. Lena, you are funny. Okay. All right. You guys are funny. So yes, this was brilliant. Very good. You could have developed your piece, but rather than develop your pieces, you saw an opportunity because, right, he has 2 minor, you have 2 minor, but he has a queen out here all by itself running around. So anytime the queen is out early, we may have opportunities to attack the queen. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right. Awesome sauce. So you are threatening this, and what I like to call this is alignment. That queen is aligned with the king. It's a problem. Okay, that's a problem for white when you align with the pieces. And this queen is aligned with the king. It's creating a situation of risk. Right? I think Levi Rosman would call it danger levels. All right. So white tries to get out of the problem by saying, well, I'll remove the king. But you still have a discovered attack on the queen. So you can move this bishop anywhere in the world you want, right? And you get an attack on the queen. And your rook is protected, so it's not like he could take, right? Now, this square would be bad because you're forcing him to move the queen, and he could take your bishop when he moves his queen, right?
Right.
So that's obviously bad. So other than this square, you could pretty much put that bishop anywhere you want, right? Every square except for that square. So you have all these choices right now, and the opportunity, it's kind of like, it's like anything else. The opportunity might pass you. If you don't take advantage of it right now, that queen might move, and you no longer will have this opportunity. So where do you like to put it? Where do you think the best square to put it? I like what you did. I think you came up with a good square. Now, if there was a free piece, so let's say this bishop was here. And let's say the knight was here. Right? Then you could imagine you could have come here, attacked the queen. Sure. The queen would have to move, and then you can win this pawn, and if the knight's still here, you would have won the rook for a bishop. Just trying to give you an idea. Okay, so you attack the queen. So queen has to move. Now, you don't have to think too hard about this move. You're going to move and attack the queen. But even before you move it, you should be thinking, where can he go? He cannot go there. He cannot go here. He cannot go here, 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 here. Right, there you go. So all of these squares, and actually he can't go there either. Very good. Those are all non-safe squares for that queen. Do you agree?
Yes.
All right. Awesome sauce. So he picked a square that wasn't one of those, so you can't just take them. But look deep and tell me, do you have anything here? So what is that called again? Another discovered attack.
Yeah.
You went from one threat of discovered attack, and you did great. And you set up another discovered attack. Look, the queen is not protected here. There's nothing protecting the queen. So although the queen is the same value, you can attack something of greater value, creating your discovered. Maybe that bishop can go anywhere it wants because the queen is not protected. Even if this wasn't checked, you could take something, the queen could take you, but the queen can't just sit there, right? You couldn't take back the bishop because you'd lose this queen. So yes, you had that move. You had that winning move in your grasp. right
I
there.
can't believe it. Yeah, that's bad.
Right? I mean, that's an opportunity for you right there, for you to just think about and don't want to miss in the future. You saw the first one, you actually went for it, you set up that alignment, and you have to realize where he went allows you to have the alignment again. You have the same alignment issue going again. And he blew it. So let's say he didn't go there. Let's say he went here, trying to keep pressure on here. Right? That would be better, right?
Right.
All right. Now you could chase him, right? You could say, go away. And he's back to trying to find moves. He can't go there, right? He can't. Remember, he has less squares again. So let's say he goes here. All right? That would be an option, I guess. That's probably not a bad option. I was looking for a bad option to have fun. Because this is still an alignment issue. And even here, this is still an alignment issue that the queen is not, it's an undefended piece. And if there was a way for you to move this knight with good tempo someplace, you'd have an attack on that queen.
Right.
But unfortunately, there's not anything easy for you to do. Right? Let's see. They're having a nice conversation without me in chat. I'll let them continue. Oh, okay. Yeah, bishop. Yeah, I looked at that, but the queen is protected. So Ratchet. Ratchet was saying that you could do bishop h2. I was thinking of that. Knight takes, and then you get to do the check. If the queen takes, your bishop takes. But the problem is that the queen is protected by the bishop.
Right.
So it didn't work. It was close. It was close. Yeah, not when it's on h4. So then he said, he was saying, well, if he went here and we chased him to h4, then we could do it. But that doesn't work, Ratchet, because then he just takes with the queen.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, and So good, but good, guys. Good, very good, very good. So let's get back to this actual game. So I love it that you set up the discovered attack. Beautiful. Love that you actually had a second discovered attack.
I can't believe I missed the bishop move.
It happens. It happens. All right, so now he's threatening your bishop. Let's just see for no, I don't. I'm looking to see if there's any other fun stuff you could possibly do here, and I don't see anything that jumps out.
Here, right?
Oh no, you don't ever have to, right? I mean, you don't have to. You could do that.
Right.
But of course, then he should take you. You take back, and he wins your pawn.
Right.
So yes, you would lose material. So yeah, probably safest, simplest is just to take. And he took back, and you developed your bishop. But again, you don't necessarily need to because you have this. But since you open this, you kind of better, right? And this pawn move actually weakens this pawn a little bit because you can't move this pawn to there. Now you can move it all the way up here. The knight has good inroads. Not that one. Knight does have some inroads. Let's see what he did. Attacks your queen. You double up, stack, right? And you didn't have that many squares, right? You could have went this way or where you went. So you notice he's not giving you a lot of squares for your queen. Is this a good move or a bad move in general?
I thought that was a bad move.
Because
the king is not as protected.
Yeah, he's opening up his king now.
Plus, this is only defended once by the queens.
So this move, I guess, was because you were worried about this eventually?
What move was that? Yeah, that move. Yeah, because if he forced my knight off, right?
Right.
Then my queen is the only defender here.
Yeah.
That's a checkmate.
Your queen would be stuck defending.
Not a checkmate, but a devastating check.
Oh, I don't even know how devastating it is, because with the queen here, your king moves here, and then what does he have? Depending on where your queen is, what you're threatening, you might be fine. But you're right, it does.
It is free candy, right?
It does defend. It does depend, and you would be giving away free candy, and we don't like that.
Right.
Yeah, so this is a daring move, but maybe it's not bad. I mean, he's threatening to win material, and he took your rook that was on a nice open file, and he
Right.
got you to move it here where it's like stuck doing nothing. So yeah, that might have been a brilliant move for him for a time, right? But it does open up his king, and I don't have a clue.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't
I
have a
think he
clue.
was just that right.
Yeah, because this is a terrible move. Because then you just take with check and you lose your queen. So I don't know what this move was. I don't know what that move was. So now your queen can move like you said, and but okay, you're trying to stop the pawn from pushing again. He pushes anyway. He trades, and now his queen is here. Okay. Do you have any? Yeah, you got to be careful because your queen is not protected, but neither is his, right? So if you move your knight, your queen's going to be under attack. So, do you have any place you could move your knight? It would have been nice.
Here.
Yeah,
Oh,
but then
no,
he just takes your queen.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, it would have been nice if you could have went here, right? If you had went here. What are you doing? If you went here, stop that. Are you doing that?
What's happening? No.
Okay.
I think my internet just lagged out.
That was weird. Okay, if you went here, you'd protect the queen, right? So if he takes, you take. And if he takes with the bishop or with the knight, you'd win a queen. But unfortunately, he could just take with the rook.
Right.
And now your queen is hanging, and you can't even take the rook because he'd take your queen, and if you take the queen, he takes you. Yeah, so that move doesn't work. And so the only square that you can move to with the knight right now and still protect the queen, that doesn't work because he just takes the queen. So a little bit of a drag, right?
Say, move my knight.
No, I'm saying you can't.
Right, I can't move my knight.
No, you don't have any good squares to move your knight to, but almost. If this rook weren't here, then you could have thrown this one in and just traded queens.
Right.
All right, but you don't have that. So you went queen to e4, and that was just a blunder.
Right.
Yeah, we don't care about We're not going to worry about blunders. Blunders happen. Blunders just happen, and when they do, we just shake our heads and say, okay. Hopefully, we won't ever do that one again. That was just a blunder. All right, one last game. Let's look at real quick. So far, you except for giving away your queen on that last game, you haven't been giving away free candy. I haven't seen that in your games where you have enough time to think. You're not giving away any free candy. So, life is good so far. By the way, you did offer free candy.
Yeah.
But he didn't take it. Instead, he wanted mate. You said go away. Now he has 3 pieces here, but you have 3 pieces defending, so you're still okay. Moves his knight away. That's probably a good trade, right? Because he had free candy that he can't take anymore. Didn't understand that move exactly. What was up with that move? It does allow the queen to protect here.
Why did I do that? I think I just wanted to push his king, and I couldn't think of a better way.
His king or his queen?
His king, try and go up.
Yeah, I don't get it. Okay. Yeah, I'd be more okay with you giving away, like if you were to take. I'd be more happy with that. You protect the pawn. Your king is in a nice little fortress. You have a semi-open file. And it's a very equal game though, still. But yeah, I didn't get the pawn. I didn't quite get what we were doing here. And then he sacked. Right? He just gave you a knight for a pawn. And so here's fine. I kind of like this maybe more. Because you're up a piece for 2 pawns, so...
But I should just trade away.
You'd be ready to trade. You don't have to.
Yeah.
And you're not going to force if it's not there, but if it's there, why not? Right?
Right.
Okay. Chase the bishop. And the bishop gets a nice diagonal. But you have a way out of this. Oh, not that one. Oh, that works too, right? Because you pin the bishop, and he can't go here, and he can't go here, and he can't go here. So that kind of works, right? You pin the bishop. The other choice could have been, I believe you could have went here also, because he still can't say check. And as long as he can't say check, his queen is under attack. And then you could move the rook, but, you know, your way might be better. I like that, so. All right, and he moves his king over, which doesn't stop you from attacking the bishop, but you need to get another piece on there if you could. So you move the rook out of the danger of the bishop, that's fine. And he's trying to open up the board, and you set up, look at you, setting up another discovered attack. You're like the king of discovered attacks. Very good. He takes, you took the time to take versus springing your trap. And now the bishop, though, is no longer hitting that square.
Right.
Bit of a minor problem there, right? And he runs away. And then you say, I'm going to chase your queen. I love it that you chased the queen. Any other way you could have chased that queen that might have been better? And I'm just glancing and I'm thinking there's a better way. Yeah. Why not get that other rook involved, right?
Yeah, that was short-sighted.
Let's get 2 rooks involved, and I think you're looking much better. Much better. Get both rooks involved. Also, hopefully you see that you might have a chance later for an alignment there.
Right.
Okay. But yeah, you could either chase him right away, because then he doesn't have any play like along here yet, because that's an alignment issue, right? This pawn is hanging. If he takes with the rook and you take back, he gets to take your... Oh, you're protecting. Never mind. That's not true. All right, but anyway, you attack. And now he's got 2 attackers on your pawn. It's going to be a little leery. You protect the pawn because the queen's in the lead, so he's not going to take the other way. He pushes the pawn, not doing really anything aggressive to you. You bring over your other rook. That's got to be good, right? That got to feel good. You got to be careful though, because he has a check. He does have a check. He brings up his rook, and now you go after the queen, and maybe here. But what's the problem?
Yeah,
I think you're still pretty decent though. I mean, life is still good here. But what do you do now as white? I mean, you could pop him up because you still draw his territory. I don't think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah. Like what? Like White's turn now. He's still down a piece, so you can even put the queen here and say, "Let's trade again," right? Because you don't care. You're up a whole piece. You got to remember, you're up a whole piece, and you can use the rook. So you still got a lot of options. Okay, but anyway, you attack the queen, and he decided to offer a queen trade, which again you should jump at because you're up a whole piece. So you could take the queen trade, but do you have anything better? Always wondering if you have anything better. Because if he takes your queen, you just take back, right? All right, so
an option?
Now, yeah, sure, because it's forced. Look, he can't move there. He can't move here. He has only one legal move, so now what's your next move? And he only has one legal move. What's your next move? Because you're noticing this alignment, right?
Right. I have to trade it.
Do you? You could have let him take. I think you're still in trouble. Right? I mean, you could do things like try to protect your queen, and if he takes, you take back with check, but then he comes out. So yeah, you're in a bit of trouble, right? You're in a bit of trouble, my friend.
Yes.
And he gets away.
Yeah.
Oh, he gave it back, but yeah, he's still winning. All right. So where we fell apart was this was a nice thought, but you can't take with the queen because you have. This
Yeah,
is
I
his
missed that.
only legal move, and because it's his only legal move, you got to realize I can't do this. Now, if there was a pawn breaking between the two, you'd win. The game would be over because you'd have this rook and checkmate. So it's a nice pattern, but it didn't work. So I like the thought, I like the attempt, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And taking with the bishop, I'm not so sure it works either. Queen takes, queen, king takes, and then he could still take, and you could take with check, but then he still gets the block, and you're still stuck. You're still stuck. So, yep, I think here you're winning, and you have multiple ways to carry it out. I mean, that's one. He could take with the pawn so he doesn't lose another, because otherwise you get to take that pawn. So if he takes with the pawn, then you're up a piece, right? And you just got to worry about, you only have one hanging pawn right now. That's the only weak spot you've got. And you can even protect it if you wanted to.
I was very upset about this loss at the time, actually.
Yeah. So it's just miscalculations. But I think it's a miscalculation because this is a nice attempt. Very nice attempt. But you got to keep thinking even through further.
Yeah.
And so you could just say, well, he's allowing a queen trade. I'm winning. I'll take the queen trade.
Yeah, it was greedy, I think.
Yeah, but that's all right. Not a bad job at all. All right. Let's get you a match. I do have one of my beginner students that was willing to play you.
Awesome.
His name is DS Gear 2010.
I have the notification. If you don't mind, I'm going to take 2 minutes to just go to the restroom.
Please do. I will let him know your name because I don't think that's the one I was looking for to invite.
Okay.
I don't know who else challenged our student already, but I'm going to tell D Gear. There you go. We'll see if D Gear is still online and if he wants to play. No, you're not, King. Nice try, though. Nice try, King. Nice try. Oh, sure. In which game was it? Is it this game? No, that's not the right game. Is it? Yeah, this game, right? Hey, TK. All right, so you hopefully will get. Tell me who's challenging you because we don't want you just playing.
DS Gear.
DS Gear. Yep, 2010. Go ahead and accept that one.
Okay.
And what we'll do is we can follow you, which is another nice thing. That it's very easy to follow somebody's game on Lichess. All right, so it's 10 plus 5 casual. Awesome. Go ahead and I'll mute myself on Zoom. You can feel free to keep talking, but we will watch. What I want you to focus on is development, making sure you develop your pieces. No free candy, which you didn't have any problems with that I could see yet. But let's make sure of our calculations and take a look at how the board changes, right?
Okay.
Think about where you want your bishops. Let's just see in general. All right, go for it.
Okay.
I would have liked to have given him more specific principles to work on today, but we covered a lot of things at the beginning. Really? Really, King? That's good advancement, my friend. That's very good. Very good advancement. Now, Brandon from UK, we know he's a beginner because he actually learned the moves in February. So which game were you talking about, Bizarre? Were you talking about the last game we looked at or the game before that? Hey, Jerpuff. My tone is like your old Bible teacher. So is your Bible teacher, was he old? Or she old? or is it just meaning your former Bible teacher? You trying to say that I sound old? Okay, the last one, Bizarre. We'll take a look at it. Well, I would say that Enema is doing a very good job of developing his pieces. I'm glad to see it. Now, does he know about doubling up on the pin? So maybe that's something we could definitely cover with him. Does he know about doubling up on a pinned piece? Nope. He did not take advantage of the fact that he could have doubled up on the pinned piece. Otherwise, by the way, everything is symmetrical, right? Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at that.
I feel like I should trade away this bishop here because it's not doing me much good on this side of the board anyway, and this is the double up pawn here.
It does double up pawns. And then if he keeps him from doubling up his pawns, it'd be better. I'm old too. Jerpuff, I'm old too. Thanks. Thanks.
Well,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
To me, right? So I'm going to move this knight.
Oh, let's give a shout out to Jerpuff. She does art and plays chess. Hey, Jerpuff, I do art also. I just haven't tried doing any online. I've not streamed it. I stream exclusively chess right now. I don't know that I'll expand to something else in the future, but right now it's all chess. But I do art. I love art. In fact, you know what? I might, if I don't have it up here. It's downstairs. I was going to show you some sketches I did on my trip when I went on my trip for my birthday. No, he's not looking at the stream, so you could comment. Oh, really? Yeah, that's nice, Jerpuff. I might, like I said, I might have to indulge in that. But right now, it's all chess and all chess. But I do art, so I have shown some of my artwork on stream. Like we did chalk. I took my daughter out. She's 15 now. I took my 15-year-old daughter out, and we did chalk drawings at church on the sidewalks. Well, actually, we did one right out for Easter. We did one right out at the end of our own driveway. So when we do chalk drawings, it's not the stick figure chalk drawings. It's pretty nice. Can I permit links for you? No, King, because then I'd have to keep track of everybody and permitting links for it. So just in general, I keep links out. Yeah, Dirty Tie Man, we can't use language like that, but I get your point. I can see what you said, but we have to block it because, I have young people online that we don't do any of that, but. Chess mesh. Yeah, do art instead. Oh,
so
thank you.
If I were to let him take this, and I take back with this pawn, I'd have this open file, but my king would be weak on this diagonal, but he wouldn't have a black bishop anyway to take advantage of that, but he would have a queen, so I don't know if I should just take, and he takes with queen, or what. I don't know what the best thing to do is here, because I could go here, attack his queen, but then, what good is that, because I feel like my bishop's going to get trapped eventually, so I'm just going to...
I would have liked the knight here, and if he trades the bishop, then you keep the bishop. Opposite color bishops, definitely a drawers endgame probably. Now the knight, since he took back with the queen instead of with the pawn, I would have taken back with the pawn since I would have been taking towards the center, and then I have opportunities to win the center. So now the knight move here can be fun, although we do just get chased away. Okay, he's looking to trade off the bishop. It's like very mirrored, right? We'll see how well he remembers what we just told him about the endgame. I don't have that in my allowance, so. All right, now we have an imbalance. We have 8 pawns to 8 pawns, but we have 3 pawn islands for David, and we have only 3 pawn islands for Enema. So Enema is, in a sense, winning. He still has to get his queen off the back rank, but he has a better pawn structure, no pawn breaks, and he can kind of pick where he wants to do his pawn break. Yeah, you can send it in Discord, or you can send it on a whisper, or better yet, King, send it in Lichess. Send it in Lichess. That'll be easier. You send it in Lichess, and I can just copy it in. So, what our link is this for? Oh, artwork. Okay. Is it clean PG artwork? I know, Bazaar. That's a great question. What pawn break do you do? For black, I'm not crazy about this pawn break because it still keeps 3 pawn islands and it doesn't remove any of the double pawns. So if white just takes it, he can this double pawns are going to stay double. So that's one option, is just to take. Queen gets pulled over. He can push this pawn if he wants. He can take his time. Jerpuff, all you have to do is be a subscriber, and then you can sign up for a lesson. It's usually 2 hours long, and I usually do them Sundays 1 to 2:30, but I've also done them on Saturdays at 6 p.m. I've also done them Wednesdays at 11 a.m. So multiple opportunities for a lesson. We did change it. We, as in the viewers and I, changed it to be a subscriber because that's a whopping $5, as you know. Or if you have Prime, it's free. If you have Prime, it's free. You can get your lesson free, right? But otherwise, it's a whopping $5. Why is he giving up free candy? He could have done this first. Why is he giving up free candy? That's a curiosity to me. Never like giving up free candy. Now, this is the only one that's free at the moment. He's got to be careful, but he's still okay. So he didn't want to stop him from taking that one. This is interesting. They're getting into interesting endgame territory now.
It's a free candy fiesta.
Oh, you definitely take that one.
It's like a piñata.
Yeah. The piñata. We'll call this the piñata movement. More free candy. You just take, and then you take, and you're winning. You got a pass pawn. You're winning easy. Easy. You're winning easy. Can even take here with check. Doesn't even have to do that. Could just take here with a check, so his opponent can't do anything yet. Okay, you decide to go with the check. This is still at risk. I kind of like just taking, right? Because then you take, and you don't have any risk. Once you get rid of the queens, risk time is over, guys. The risk factor is over. But he might have a back rank mate possibility coming. He can even drop his queen here, and if he takes, he gets a back rank mate if he moves his king over. Very interesting. Yeah, I thought he gets counterplay. I agree, but he's also got back rank mate possibilities. And he still has back rank mate possibilities.
What do I do here?
Can he attack the queen? Yes, he can, because if he takes, he takes back. If he takes here, he just takes. It is risky, though, because he's also in a back rank mate possibility. But see, where does that queen go? Because that'll be back rank mate. I think this was the move. I think that was the right move. Even if he throws this move in, look at that. He found a square. But that's a free rook. That's free candy. Yep. Very good. Enema's playing very well. Yeah, so King, my first instinct was to trade queens and keep down the counterplay. But White also had the diagonal. The king was going to be trapped in the corner. He had back rank mates. Queen to f7 coming up? Really? Why did you say queen to f7? Rook to c7 is coming. That makes more sense to me. Rook to c7 makes a lot more sense. Doubling up on the rook.
Go! Let's go! Nice.
Things getting scared over there. Oh, with the back rank mate, yes. Yeah, that was a possibility.
Just want to say, my family's getting back up from the beach, so it's going to get loud again.
Uh-oh. Oh, black resigned.
I'm going to mute my
All right.
mic on that.
And the family's coming back. All right, I'll unmute. Very good job. Very good job. You did.
Thank you.
So there were some opportunities. You had some good questions. Let's go through the game quickly. And I want you to ask questions as we review it. I already put it in your study. Nice job, Chess Wizard. Oh, surfboards. Where are you guys at?
We are at a beach in Florida.
Oh, in Florida. Sweet. Ah, the beach. I'm in the middle. I'm in Midwest. I would love to be at a beach. 4th of July, beach, 4th of July, can't beat it.
It's my favorite.
All right, let's go over the game real quick and see if you have any specific questions as the game went on.
Okay.
All right, so you're if you're here, we're in studies, right?
I'm getting...
Yep, go to learn, study, studies I contribute to.
Okay. Alright, now I'm in.
All right, so you're playing, it looks like you might be getting to it. Yep, you're in a London kind of system. And you guys, so one thing I would just tell you in general, a lot of times the C pawn is pushed when you play a D pawn opening. But I know the London sometimes just goes to C3. So this, and I have no problem. I have no problem with the
Can
knight.
I comment on that?
Yeah.
Can I comment on that? So the reason, usually I like to play this move, but I actually used to only play the Queen's Gambit, so I would always play this move.
Okay.
So I've been trying to get away from the Queen's Gambit because it used to be the only thing I played. So even though I love this move and my heart always tells me to play this move, I go with the knight instead because I just think it's the right thing to do, but I don't know.
Okay. I think it would be, I think it could get interesting with moves like this. Right, because this square is being attacked, sorry. This square is being attacked a lot. But, you know, you can do this to stop it, so it could be very interesting. So, yeah, I have no problem, and I have no problem with the knight move. No problem with the knight move. Bazaar says it's the better choice anyway. And you're playing, I don't know what the Jobava is, but okay. So, oh, that's what he's playing. Okay, excellent open. Thanks, Bazaar. So we have now reached what we would call a mirrored position, right? Symmetrical. Okay, everything is symmetrical, and now everything is even more symmetrical. Now, I have to ask you, do you know about tactics? And the one I want to ask you about is the most common tactic that you will find that you have available. We know you know the discovered attack choice, right? We know you know discovered attack tactic. Do you know about the pin? So both knights are pinned, right? And we talked about pinning the queen to the king in the other game. So, right? What do you do when you pin a piece? What's the next step?
You have two options. You can remove the pin by, say, for example, he removed the pin by castling, right?
Right.
And in that case,
but
it would have been, or you could push off, right?
But as the pinner, you pinned.
As the pinner.
Right, because you pinned, and he couldn't castle yet. He could have, and we call it, put the question to the bishop, so that the bishop either takes or backs up or runs away. So he did neither, and he just pinned you also. But you went first. So what do you normally do to take advantage of a pin?
When I'm the one pinning?
Yes.
Well, I would say move the knight.
Yeah.
For example, right?
So what we call that is piling up.
I see.
You want to pile up on the pinned piece. Because now you're threatening to win material. The bishop can't come back and block. You're threatening to win material. If he castles, you just win material. Right? And if he doesn't castle, he doesn't have many options. If he comes here to protect the knight, so the pawn and then the queen would protect it, you get a free discovered attack move with your knight again. We know how much we like that. So,
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
and he can't come here, so he has no way to add a defender to that knight. So you want to, just in general, keep in mind whenever you get a pin, and you remember I told you the discovered attack on the queen with the alignment with the king in that game was fleeting. You had to take advantage of it before too many things moved away. Same thing with a pin. Pins sometimes last a long time, and sometimes they're removed early. Oh, okay, cool. That'd be nice. Bazaar, definitely share those. All right. So you didn't, but that would be an option. Okay. So you castled, he castled, and now there is no pin. And you said, you were thinking, well, this bishop's not doing anything, I'll just trade it off. And there's nothing wrong with that logic. If you were a master or grandmaster, you might say, I'm not giving up my bishop for a knight, but we're not, right? We're at the lower levels, so we're happy to trade off that bishop thinking that we double his pawns, which was correct, but it does double the pawns towards the center, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, nothing wrong with you trading that off. There would also be nothing wrong with you coming back here, trying to trade off this bishop, and there would be nothing wrong with you coming back here. I mean, you have options. You can do almost, and you could have done nothing at the moment. You could have waited till he kind of pressured you, right? You could have put the question to his bishop and make him trade and take towards the center with the later idea that you're going to be on this file. So with every double pawn comes a semi-open file. So there's a disadvantage because it's double, but he took towards the center. He's going to, right, Queen's Gambit style, you're going to be able to get rid of that double pawn probably pretty quick. And at the same time, you do get a semi-open file. So it's just things to think about. All right, so you took, which was fine. And then I like this because you said, well, if that's a weakness, I don't want to let him do the same thing to me. So I really like that you said, I'm out of town. I'm getting out of here. Now, he had opportunities to maybe attack your knight, right? Because you'd have to move because otherwise he'll double the pawns in front of your king, open up your king. That'd be probably worse. But anyway, so far so good. He brought in the knight as if the knight was still pinned. And so, what's his threat? What's that guy threatening? You're muted.
I was saying, this is a point where I was kind of confused as to what he was going for. I mean, I know that a knight is valuable here if it's backed up by the pawn. Right? But I didn't really understand his threat too much.
Okay. So he could just be trying to centralize his knight, right? That's what you're saying by being here.
Right.
The only reason you want to centralize a knight is because it hits all these squares. And right now, those squares are well protected.
Right.
So it could just be that he wants to improve the position of his knight. And then you just got to decide what you want to do. An easy move could be this, chasing the bishop first.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, now this square's not at risk. This square is covered. I could just do that. And then I can develop this knight. I can chase the... Well, I can't chase the bishop there. But yeah, you could play around with that. But I think what you did was fine. You said, let's trade knights. Right? No big deal. You can even take back with the bishop. And you're threatening to take the bishop. So now you have either one of these two pieces that can be gone. So that's good. He decided to take. You took back with the bishop. Again, not doubling your pawns. Good job. If you were to take back with a pawn, I'd want you to normally take towards the center. But we don't want our bishop here with either pawn because then, you know, his pawns become more dangerous. Okay. Good job. Very good. So here the question is, do we want to take? I'd say no in general, because when you take, he should take back with the pawn. Because now look, he's got all these pawns hitting the center. He's going to be able to push this. You're not going to really be able to stop him eventually. He's going to get that. So he moved his double C pawn to being a double D pawn, which is nice because he should be able to get rid of his double pawns. He still has a bishop versus a knight, so he's still okay there. But he took with the queen, which I found interesting. And then you said, let's get rid of the bishop too, which I like. You did a good job of getting to a simplified endgame. The only other option I thought that you might try is this. This attacks the pawn. And
yeah, that looked really good. I should have done that, I think.
I don't know. I truly don't know. You have opposite colored bishops, which is very drawish. And in this situation, you're very equal. He has a semi-open file. You don't even have an open file because you have no double pawns. So your rooks are going to take a lot longer to get involved. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're fine with what you did. And it worked out fine. He took with the queen. You said, let's get rid of the bishop. Now.
One thing, can we go back a couple moves?
Yeah, sure.
Or whoops, what did I just do?
You went back a lot more than a couple.
I did not mean to do that. Sorry about that. Oops.
Yeah, start from here.
Sure. Okay, so here, what was I gonna? I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Oh right, one thing I was concerned about is this bishop becoming either, if I didn't take, right?
Right.
Say he were to just move away and leave my bishop alone. I was concerned about my bishop becoming either trapped on this side or useless, right? Because I can't really retreat this bishop. I mean, I guess I could do that.
Yep.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah, but and that's only if he moves away, right? I heard you contemplating this, and you said, well, but it doesn't do anything for me. He just moves the queen or he pushes the pawn, and you're right. You're right. This would be a do-nothing attack on the queen. And the queen is not developed, so why help him? So, yeah, you could ignore this situation for the moment, and if he takes, definitely take towards the center. But you could ignore this situation and start deciding how you're going to deal with these other pieces. That would definitely be an option for you to think about. But taking was fine, right? Because now you have a bishop versus a knight. So it's imbalanced. It's not equal, right? If you had both had a knight, if you both had a bishop, it would be more balanced. This gives you an imbalance, which gives you an opportunity. Now, if he had taken like he should have towards the center, then he would have only 2 pawn islands. This one, and then all these pawns in this, like, bunched up here. Right? All these guys. And we call these pawn islands because there's no pawn here and there's no pawn here. So here's an island in the middle, right? And here's an island over here. So that would have been better for him because he would have had only 2 pawn islands, but he took this way, freeing his rook, but creating a 3rd pawn island. So now he has these pawns, and he has 2 sets of double pawns and 3 pawn islands. So I said in the VOD, if you go watch it later, that you were winning. Not by a great amount, but I consider you winning. You could turn on the computer later and see if it agrees. But I see you as winning because you now have a better pawn structure. So the game goes on. And you did have to, right? You were going to have to take because if you let him take, well, you could take back with the rook, but then he's still going to eventually get this. You see the alignment issue, right? He's aligning his rook with your queen. So good job of taking to get out of that alignment issue. Now he's only attacking one thing. You have a nice diagonal to get in on, so I thought you would just do this. Right? I mean, that seems simple. Because now you
been more safe, I guess, right?
Well, I guess. I mean, you still have this diagonal to get going on,
right.
And he still has
no risk. That's a better move, I guess, than what I did.
Yeah. So you were aggressive, but you gave away free candy.
Right.
And then you gave away free candy. He didn't take it. I thought he should have taken the free candy. He didn't take the free candy. He went after your queen, and you rightly took the free candy. This is a free candy. You said it, piñata time. So I love that. That was great. I'm going to steal that. I'm going to use that from now on.
Sure.
All that free candy just falling out of the piñata. So, yeah, nice here, right? And so you're protecting a little bit, but you're attacking this. Look at this pawn, how sad he is, all by himself. So Bazaar agrees with me. My instinct here was to trade queens. My instinct was to trade queens because I think you have all the winning chances, and it shouldn't even be hard. All right, because you have a pass pawn. He has 2 attacking here, but he can't really do anything about it right away. He's got to figure it out. All you have to do is make the luft at the right moment, and you have no back rank mates. And it feels like it should be an easy win with a pass pawn. Feels like it. But that all said, I also noticed and liked the fact you get to take with check. And if he moves here, you have later threats of back rank mate. Right? I mean, you have right now threats of back rank mate. I'm looking. I'm not sure exactly how to. This. I think you can even go here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works either. I think his rook could just move away. He could try taking here, but then you would take with the rook, not with the queen. And then if he takes again, there's no check. So I think he's just losing. But I thought you could go there. Now you mentioned that, right? You just looked at that. That looks good too. Right, because he can't take here. Right, because he still fails. He's pinned, so he can't take here. And if he takes here, you just take here, and he still can't take back this way. So he's still good. That looks good too. He could come back and protect the rook. I think that's his only play at the moment. So that's interesting. I like this too because it does still keep on that. But anyway, what you did, what did you do? Okay, let's go here. So check. He moved the rook up. Okay. So now you have a double attack basically, but both of them are protected, and you did great. This is exactly, I love it, right? I love it. Great move. If he takes, you just take back, and now you're threatening mate again. And yes, he can win a pawn and threaten mate, but you get the mate first. So nice move. And he found, I didn't even think he had a square. I thought, you're going to get, it's mate, right? I was like, he's going to have to give away the queen. But he found a move that protects the square, but he drops this one. So I thought that was a great move. Great move. You found it, nice tactical play, and you resigned. Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
So I do like your tactics are looking pretty good. I liked that you got to the end game when you did. Probably don't be afraid of that playing the c5 just because you used to play the Queen's Gambit a lot. If it's the right move at the time, it's okay to transition into something you know. The biggest part I saw that you didn't seem to take advantage of is the fact that you have a pin and you should jump at taking advantage of that pin. And you could get yours in, he could get his in, yours got there faster.
First, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to take advantage first, and if he takes, you're going to win more material. Now he gets to do the same thing, and then you get to decide how you react. He doesn't have to take though. Just to be clear. Oops. Sorry. Let's go back here. So. He doesn't have to take. He actually, I already said he can't really come here, right? Because you're bishop. Because of your bishop. But if you take with the knight, let's say he comes here and you take with the knight, he doesn't have to take. He could say, I'm going to attack your bishop because your bishop isn't protected anymore because of the pin on it. And so he could take here, threatening again, and then it gets kind of crazy busy going on. Maybe just win that piece. And now, yeah, that's beautiful. That works. And he can't do this because you got a check, and the check means he loses. So that's not. You just take. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. All right. All right. You should be able to in Discord, I would have thought, but I told you just put it in here, which you did. All right. So, what did you think about the lesson?
It was great. Thank you so much. It was fantastic. I learned a lot. I mean, I only really play games. I never really sit down and do the puzzles or anything. And so I'm kind of always just numb to new information, new ideas. But this time, I mean, I really felt like I learned a lot.
Excellent. Excellent. This study is here for you. You can go in and look at it anytime you want. Chapter 7 is Queen and King checkmate. Chapter 8 is a Rook and King checkmate. Chapter 9, this is a really good one for you to go over and over again. You can delete the moves, by the way, right? You can always start over. So any moves that are in here, you could just say delete from here, and it allows you to remove what was in there, so you could start from scratch. By the way, we can also put the king here for you to start that way. But so take a look at those anytime you want. You have this last game against David. Feel free to run the computer against all of these if you like. I really like for you to analyze it though yourself, just for like what could you have done better. And when you look at, if you do use the computer, remember that sometimes the computer's going to recommend computer moves that you won't understand. But look for the ones that are clear, like you go, oh, look, he piles up on a pinned piece. I remember, I'm supposed to pile up on pinned pieces. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. All right, so keep working on it. I love to do follow-up lessons later, so maybe in a couple of weeks, let me know how you're doing. I will try to catch you playing online and see how you're doing and give you some feedback if I think you're doing well or not. I know you don't play on Lee Chess, so it's going to be harder for me to catch you because I don't go to chess.com very often, but maybe if you're playing Lena on her stream, I'll notice.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. That sounds great.
Awesome. Now, we did have one of our Bazaar really wanted to know about this game. So I just want to finish going over that real quick. Bazaar thought that you had, and I don't know where, Bazaar, you're going to have to help me. You're going to have to help me, Bazaar. Show me where you were asking. If you're still there, before we go away. When did you have an idea that, I think you were saying that you had a really nice move. Keep going from here? Okay. Let me know when to stop.
I'm no longer in sync with your board, by the way. Oh, there we go. Now I am.
Oh, okay, good. Still keep going? My goodness. How far? Alright, maybe here? I don't know. I'm waiting for them to tell me. This would have been not good because he would take here with check. But anyway, it is after rook to e7. When is rook to... There is no rook to e7. There's no rook to e7, my friend. Oh, e7. There is a rook to e7. Okay, sorry. So let's see. After rook to e7. No, it's rook to e7. Okay, now you're saying bishop to g5. Ooh, nice. Nice. So he's saying right, your opponent couldn't take your bishop because of check. And you're threatening the queen. And if
I don't think I'm in sync with your board right now, actually.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm getting some kind of... All sync members remain on the same position. Try now. Maybe that'll drag you. I don't know. See if that drags you.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, so the idea was on this move that you had this move attacking the queen and through the rook. Nice. Nice. And the queen can't take because you would just lose the queen for rook. And wherever the queen moves, you take that rook. And then maybe some of your
nice.
and then your threats later might be more valid.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, you have some opportunities.
That's nice.
I do like it. And you still have this later because you have both rooks too, so that's possibilities too. Yeah, that's a nice move. Nice move, Bazaar. Nice move. Yeah, no good retreat squares. Queen. No, I think this would be horrible. You just when you take, you just get another attack on the queen. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe here. Maybe here. Yeah. Yeah, no good queen. I agree. No good queen moves. I mean, you just take, right? I mean, why not? That's pretty much free candy. Yeah. You're looking really good. Really good. Can even take here now. The queen wants to take, queen takes. You're like, yeah, great, because now I have a queen against a rook and a bishop. A queen and a bishop against a rook and a bishop. Yep. Yep. I like it. Very good. Nice find. All right. So, Enema. Things for you to remember, right? Besides changing your name. No, things for you to remember are things like when we pin a piece, let's pile up on it. Let's keep our awareness of how the position changes. Keep using the tactics that you are. You have discovered attacks pretty well down. Keep looking for discovered attacks. Don't give up on your idea because like that queen was still at risk because it was undefended. And if you move your bishop, your queen was defended, his wasn't. So yeah, you have a nice easy win there. So you're getting nice positions. I think you're going to do fine. Just keep being aware of how the position changes and how it affects your pieces. You're doing fine. I did tell you very quickly there are 5 things you can do when you're attacked. You can move the piece away. You could take the piece that's attacking you. You could put something in between the piece that's attacking you. You could defend the piece that's being attacked. And the last one is you could attack something of greater or equal value. That's every time. So even in this situation that we're looking at, where we have this nice move, right? That's a beautiful move. Black can take, right? Can't take with the pawn because of check, so it's illegal. But black can take. That's one option. He says, no, I don't want to do that option. I just lose my queen for a bishop. He can move. He can run away. He can't put anything in between because the bishop is right next to the queen. But bishops don't have to be normally, right? The bishop could be here, and then he could have put something in between in theory. In theory. You can protect it, but your queen already is protected, and again, we don't want to trade the queen for a bishop, so protecting it isn't the right answer. We can't interpose. We can run away, and that's what he's going to end up doing. But he could also try attacking something of equal or greater value. And the only thing of greater value is, let's say, the king, but that doesn't work because we still lose all that material. Actually, it looks like he could at least get back the queen. But he's still down a bishop and a rook, so still a totally lost game. But every time you're being attacked, and every time you attack your opponent, they have those 5 options. Sometimes they don't exist. Like this rook, you cannot put anything in between. Right? The queen, you can't put anything in between because it's right next to you. But he could take it. He can run away. He can defend his queen, but again, why? He doesn't want to defend it. So these are the options he has to think through, and you have to think through and say, what does he do? Like in this one, what does he do? Can't take this way, ha. And I get the skewer. Skewers, by the way, are a tactic where you attack something of greater value, but when they move it, you get to win something less value than the piece you were attacking, but still greater or equal value to your piece.
It's a reverse pin.
Yes. That is the way most people think of it, a reverse pin. Yep. I actually, and a discovered attack is like a reverse pin too. That to me is even more of a reverse pin because when you move your piece out of the way, when you move your piece out of the way, the piece is attacked. Which in this case, when they move their piece out of the way, you attack something behind it. But, all right. Hey, Jerpuff, I'm going to go too. Thank you, everyone, Bots, Jerpuff, if you're saying how to get them so they don't bother you, send me a whisper. I can help you with that. If you mean how to play against a bot, yeah, okay, good luck. I can't help you with that one. All right, so Enema, if you have any other questions, feel free to send me them via Discord or via Lichess. If you're going to play in a tournament or something, send me a Discord. Let me know you're playing so I can come out and watch, because, again, I'm not on chess.com that often. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a great student. You were a great student, and I've gotten another student taken care of, guys. I'm down to, I think, only 4 left that I need to do. So awesome. Thanks again. Tell Lena we said hi, and I will now go find someone to raid. Gotta find someone to raid.
Have a happy 4th.
Hey, you too. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy.
See you later.
See you later. All right, that was very good. Very good student. Very personable, smart young man. I like that. I like that a lot. Thinker Teacher's on again. That man has been doing a lot of work. And he's talking about chess books in their world. Huh. Have you ever read any chess books? That's cool. I think that would be a nice discussion. If you guys want to join him and talk about books, that'd be great. Hey, we'll see you later, Lena. Thanks for stopping by. Happy 4th to you. Happy 4th to you. All right, let's raid Thinker Teacher. All right, guys. Go check him out. Like I said, you'll like him if you don't know it already. He's a good streamer. And I'm looking for anybody else. Anytime you guys make recommendations, let me know who you want me to raid. And I'll see you guys Tuesday. Under 1800 World Chess Championship right here. Come and play if you're under 1800 Lead Chess. Or 1550chess.com. See you guys later.